gentlemen, welcome along to another episode here on Oakfield Farm. Today you join me, we're out in the Manitou. We're going for a little bit of a drive, to a place that we don't often go up to actually. We're doing a little bit of a job this morning for a neighbouring business. They've asked us to come in and move a few little things, so that's exactly what we're going to do this morning. Behind me, as you can see, we've got the John Deere, which has the big Brumman flatbed trailer on the back of that. So we're just going to swing up this hill actually. There's a small little garden store, I guess that's the best way to describe it. I got a few pallets that we're going to shift over to the other side of the valley really. There's another countryside store over there which we're going to go to. So we need to just, we're going to get this done. They rang us up earlier this week actually, so it's only going to take us a little bit of time. So whilst the dew's still in the grass there this morning, we're going to get this all ticked off. We've got a few different interesting things to do today actually. First thing, we'll get this done. We're also going to pick up a new tractor today. We've got a new beastie arriving on the yard. It's only a small thing, but we're going to be using it to... well, the reason I thought we'd go for it is because I didn't really like the idea of having... the smallest tractor I own currently is the Fendt, the 722. So that's about 220, 240 horsepower. I didn't really want that towing the tedder, for example. So we're going to get something a bit smaller, which can pull a tedder, can pull a rake if need be, and it'll spend a lot of the winter months on the feeder, the cattle feeder and the bedder and things like that. So that's what we're doing, and then we're going to hopefully get that picked up later on this afternoon. It's from a local farmer, buying it second hand. Got it for an absolute steal, but it does need to be cleaned up and looked after a little bit, so that's maybe suggesting why the price was so low. They're actually parking up their business really. They're temporarily stopping farming for various reasons that we will get into later, but we'll see what in the world has happened there. That looks like the material I'm supposed to pick up. Okay, let's have to swing into here. I'm not quite sure what's happened with that one. Let's see if we can find out. Okay, so I don't even know what it is. Some of them are kind of like frozen, like almost insulated boxes, but they're not in a good shape. Let's see if we can get these turned over actually. Ooh. Well, that's not gone wrong. Oh, these are heavy. I'm sure we can get these somehow. Well, that's a start. Well, I hope they're not valuable, folks. We've got one turned upside down, one the right way. We're going to try and get those flipped over, but it's not ideal. Not ideal at all. Anyway, let's see what we can do. They do have a huge pile of muck here. I think people come and buy that from there. I wonder if they'll ever take any from me. But a good industry to get into, selling some spare manure to those guys. Now what we're going to do, let's see if we get this flicked over. Didn't see any fragile signs on it, so hey, we'll be alright. Now this is always the one way that I feel that this kind of telehandler never quite fares as good as its competitors. If you've got any kind of pallet forks in the front, you really cannot see what you're trying to do. There we go. Or you can, but it's not quite as easy as perhaps it could be. Anyway, we'll get these loaded up here, just these two. I thought there was going to be more actually, otherwise I could have probably just bought the pickup truck. But never mind, that being said, we'll just get this done and dusted, and then we will get ourselves back on the way down, across the valley, get this dropped off there, and we'll move on to the rest of the tasks for the day. Yesterday, we mowed some more, actually no it wasn't yesterday, it was 2 days ago we mowed some ground down for hay, which has been drying up very nicely. As I mentioned, there's a little dew in the air this morning. Grass is just a little damp, so no doubt that hay will be as well, but we're going to let the sun burn that off, and then all being well there, we'll be able to kind of maybe run the tether through that this afternoon, which would be a great opportunity to test out the new tractor, and then if we can, we'll get that done, and then we'll leave it for another day and see how it looks off the back of that. The combine came out yesterday. The combine has been worked over, greased up, serviced again. That's all looking good. So we have got a few contract jobs coming in. I think they might actually be ready before our own. So we're keeping an eye out on those, seeing when they're going to be ready. But that will be our next job. However, we will, yeah, we'll see when that arrives. Really, it could be as close as a few days actually, from what I've been told. So we'll have to wait and see. All right, I think we're all good to go there. Yeah. Perfect. And off we go. Trying to get in with these guys a little more and more actually. So if we do all the small jobs, they might give us some of the bigger haul-in jobs, and then that's where we'll try and get a little bit of extra business for the, well, for our lorry really. That's what we ideally want. Got a bit of work to do with carting my own straw around, but it's not quite as much as I'd hopefully like to get one day. So that's what we're trying to see if we can improve upon. And I think we will. It's just a matter of time really. But as you can see, it is a stunningly good looking day here, or it's going to be a stunningly good looking day on Oakfield Farm. What we're going to do now though, we're going to just scoot along to the other side of the yard, other side of the valley. Stay with us, we'll take you for a ride and we'll catch you up at the other end. We nearly crashed there. That would have been pretty embarrassing on my own land. But there's the windmill, and we're just going around the corner here. Did you get out there okay? No problem at all. Beautiful. And we should just be up here really. Let's get that back down so I can see. This Manitou is not too bad on the road actually. It's quite comfortable in places there. It's not the quickest though. There is that you got to factor in. But yeah, you can make it work if you really have to. I think we'll just go to the end of this road and then hang out right, I do believe. That should take us down to where we want to go. We'll just swing around here as well. Let's get by around there. There he goes. Ooh. Excellent stuff. And here we are, nice and easy. So we're gonna swing into here. We occasionally do have some contracts here for some of our spring barley. Not all of it, I must say. A little bit comes here. But this year we don't have any actually. So it's gonna be a bit of a change up. Now. Let's get him going to here. I don't know quite where they want these to go, so I'm sure we're gonna have to find out. Scoot back over this grid here, that won't be a problem. One strap done, get another strap done. In we go. All that way and all that fuss for 2 straps. If I knew known it was going to be so little, I would have just taken the pickup truck and had it done in a heartbeat. There's going to be one down there. I think this is where they can go. And there's number 1 already. It's kind of like extreme version of being the postman. Okay. I don't know what's in this one, but it is upside down, so God hope it's okay in there, whatever it is. Okay, let's just pull that back a bit to there. That's wonderful. Alright, so let's go and see if we can find the people we need to see. And make sure to see if they want anything else doing here. Right then folks, got a bit of a change of plan. I am going to be taking this back. Barry is going to take the Manitou back, and he's going to, I think he's just hanging on here having a chat with someone, so I'm going to leave him to it, because we need to go and we're going to swap over trailers. We're going to get back to the yard, put the flatbed trailer on, pick that one up, and we're going to go and collect our Deutz, which is our new to us tractor, at least, second hand really, but it's going to do a great little job. It's going to be a magnificent tractor. Now, this is a little tight in here, so I don't know how I'm quite going to get out. Let's see if we can just... No, that's not going to work. We need to kind of spin ourselves around a little bit, so what we'll do... Don't try this at home, kids. Whatever you do. We're just going to do a bit of a three-point turn on the road here. And get ourselves kind of spun in the right direction, because we want to, like I say, drop this back off at the shed. That's better. Let's just pull forward here a touch. Excellent. And just did some hazard lights on as well. Not advisable, but I trust it's going to be quiet enough out there on the road at this time in the morning. And we're going to surf around. There we go, and onwards. So Barry's going to follow us. He'll get himself back to the shed there. This morning, like I say, we've got a few little jobs he's servicing over the baler. Right now, we've got the combines ready to go there, and that's going to be going out soon, hopefully. Soon being the optimum word. What we're trying to do is, we've got about 60 acres of barley to run into, but we're just waiting for the word go really. So there's a chance after we finish here, I'll be jumping into the combine to go and get that started, but we're just not quite sure yet, to be honest there. We'll see how that goes. We still haven't yet to get an HGV, permanent HGV driver, so if we need to, Barry will come up with the we might just cart tractor and trailer for if we need to for that one. But we'll have to wait and see. We've got a lad coming in to see us actually next week about the driving the truck for us, so that'll be quite good if we can get him on board. Youngish lad though, he's got about, I think he's got in the region of we'll get around there, about 6 years driving Arctics, so that's gonna be good for us if we can get it. But we'll have to wait and see. Beautiful, beautiful day from up here though, really stunning. Okay, so we're going to just swing into the yard quickly, drop off this trailer, pick up our trailer. The reason we're picking up via trailer is that apparently we have a little bit of an issue with the brakes on the Deutz, so we'll have to see about that. I don't really want to drive it anywhere without brakes, so we're going to pick it up, we'll strap it onto the trailer there, and we can guarantee it's all looking good. As I mentioned though, the combine is out ready to go. Here it is in basking in all its glory. Just literally waiting for the word go. So it's always quite exciting when that's raring and ready to go. We're hoping, like I say, 60 acres with that, with our new header on there, should take easily less than a day to rattle through, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. There's go. Now back around this corner, we're going to select our, we're going to pick up our other low loader, or other flatbed. This one does have the low loader ramps on the back of it. There we go. But yeah, we've got the two broad trailers, so even if we don't have, get a good get an HGV driver in time, we've still got a backup option there. Those trailers are, what, they're 16, 18 ton, I think, so they've got plenty of capacity. Perfect, and off we go. Oh, that's a bump. So the field on the left is looking pretty good. That's the one we mowed and baled recently. It's got it's nice, clean kind of cut to it now that we raked over it once. Field on our right is the one that's mowed down. We're waiting to get that spread out a bit, let the sun dry it out there. It's not a bad looking crop on there, in all honesty. Should do us pretty well. And then the one even over the road, the further over the hedge there, that is grass that we may or may not mow. There's not a lot in there. If we don't mow it, it's not the end of the world, and we're going to probably kill it off and put it into winter barley, I imagine at this rate. If we do it quick enough, if we don't, if we decide not to bale it at least, then we could use that as organic matter and spray it off, and then drill into that. So we'll have to wait and see how that decision goes. But in terms of the Deutz we're going to pick up here, I think it's the Agrotron. It's about 120 horsepower, not too big. I wanted something small and nimble, but still with enough power in it to power my Keenan diet feeder, which takes about 105, 106. And the idea is that we get this, we can use this around the yard for the small jobs, leave the big tractors to do the heavier draft work. It just doesn't, I don't really like the idea of, this tractor's 300 horsepower, you stick this onto the rake, it's just a bit pointless really, or stick it onto the tedder even, it's just too much. And it's a heavy tractor, you're looking up and down the field, so when you think from a compaction standpoint, if we can avoid to do it, we absolutely will. And yeah, it's nice to have a little, kind of a yard tractor really. That's the best way to describe it. But we're coming into Seven Springs here, and it's just this farm on the right. Now, they had an awful lot of land, kind of all up and over the hill there. They had a large fleet, to be honest. But recently, that fleet has been significantly downsized. Reason for it is they lost a huge chunk of their land to the coal board when they decided to go and mine the local fields. So over that hill there's going to be a new open cast mine coming along very soon, so they haven't been able to retain much of the land at all. So the land they have retained, they're going to get contracted out, so it looks like we're trying to see if we can get the contracts to these fields here. And it'll be interesting to see what happens there, to see if we do get it or not. For now though, let's have a look at our new super machine. This is it. It's dirty. We bought it sight as seen, so it needs a wash, but we can certainly do that. It's an Agro Star, I think it is. Not in bad condition actually. The metalwood's looking pretty good. Yes, it's dirty, but we can work around that one. But yeah, otherwise there's not a bad looking machine. If we jump inside, quite a clean interior actually, very simple. Has everything you need, just a manual gearbox there. Spool valves, hydraulics, the works, that's it. If we start it up, doesn't sound too bad. It does have a bit of an oil leak somewhere I noticed when I came to have a look at it the other day. Let's move this thing out. But we're going to try and crack on with it as it is, and I think we can. Yeah, really, I just don't think it's let's jump out again. I don't think it's that bad a piece of equipment really. I really do like the looks of this. It's going to be nice. It's got some cracking good tyres on it. Really good. Look at the tread it's got, the fun ones. Yeah, so we're going to take it home. We're going to get it cleaned up, polished up, get it ready to roll. And then we should be good. Now let's see if I can get this into yeah, there we go. Crack it straight up onto the trailer. Whoop. And up we go. Perfect stuff. Alright, let's kill the engine. Yeah, a bit of a wash and it'll look like a completely different tractor. I'm absolutely positive of it. Okay, I think we're looking good on that side as well. Lovely job. Okay, and I think we'll just spin it straight up here as well. This used to be quite a major pig farm as well back in the day. They stopped farming pigs quite a while ago, about 10 years ago. What they have kept doing is large amounts of arable land, but even that's had to be pulled to a close because of this open cast steel. So they don't get me wrong, they get very well rewarded for it, but it's kind of puts all a halt to any arable work. Okay, then back to the yard we go. We're going to take this back and then kind of pottering around the yard. Really, we're at that point where I'll keep Barry going with his with the hay work. If we can get out there and get tedding, we're going to just kind of plot around with this Dodge today. Wait for our crops to ripen and wait for the phone to go to say that we're away. So we'll have to see how that goes. For now though, around we go. Excellent job. All I can see in each mirror is a set of tyres, and in the rearview mirror I've got a mean looking weight. That's pretty funny. Okay then. Well, we're going to leave it here. We're going to get back to the yard there and get ourselves all set up. Thank you ever so much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Simulation for the Nation, and we will see you in the next one. Until then though, have yourself a great rest of your day. Enjoy what you're doing as always, and we'll see you later.